AP Xin Zhao has made its way into meta, Deathfire Touch is super OP on a bunch of champs, and Static Shiv is adding a ton of power to a few champions. So with all the new item and rune changes, let's get you guys set up with 10 of the most OP for 26.9. From hard-stuck players finally escaping elo hell, to gold, platinum, and emerald players reaching their dream rank of diamond, to diamond players finally breaking in masters for the very first time, every single day, countless SkillCapped members are hitting ranks they never thought possible. There's a reason we've been doing this for over a decade. We know exactly what it takes for you to climb, and it all starts with our Season 16 Essentials courses for every role. Each course is designed to walk you through every stage of the game from start to finish, from learning the exact trading and recall timers you need to win in lane, to the complete mid-game decisions 99% of players get completely wrong, all the way to the team fighting tips and tricks challengers abuse to always deal the highest damage possible. Every course tailor-made to focus only on the concepts that actually matter for climbing and carrying on your role. And that's only the start. Take our brand new Season 16 macro and wave control courses with perfect 5-star reviews that one customer even said made his entire yearly subscription completely worthwhile. Weekly challenger commentaries where our experts walk you through exactly how to carry in your elo on your chosen champion. Or even our world record jungle clears for every meta champion with the exact routes, tips, and tricks our subscribers are abusing to clear faster than ever before. If you're feeling stuck this season and you can't rank up no matter how hard you try, SkillCapped is the solution for you. As if you don't climb at least 5 divisions while actively using our service, you get every penny back. Check it all out today using the exclusive discount in the description or pinned comment below. Starting things off with a couple of top lane builds, it turns out things just keep getting better for Kayle as she's got yet another new OP item that she can abuse. First it was Dusk and Dawn, and now in 26.9 it's Static Shiv. So even though Dusk and Dawn got weaker on Kayle for this patch, it literally doesn't affect her power level at all because she just gets to swap over to Static Shiv into Nashor's as her 2-item core. Shiv got changed this patch so that it now provides AP, and its passive is now an energized attack instead of being on a cooldown. This is perfect for Kayle because she benefits from both AP and AD while also liking attack speed, so it's really no surprise the item is overperforming on her. The movement speed from Shiv is also super nice for Kayle because she goes swiftness boots and then also gets the 4% boost from Shiv, so she gets to stay nice and mobile. The way the Shiv energized attack stacks now is that you get stacks for moving and attacking, but you gain extra stacks for attacking. This makes the item extra good on a champ like Kayle, who will be building heavy attack speed with Shiv into Nashor's, and then you've also got the attack speed boost from her passive. So it turns out the brand new rune Deathfire Touch is incredibly good on a bunch of champions, and one top laner you need to be running it on is Singed. Champions who can deal reliable, consistent damage are the best with Deathfire Touch because the rune works in a really interesting way. You deal burn damage whenever you hit your abilities, but what makes the rune really OP for Singed is that if you are burning the enemy champion for 3 seconds, the damage from Deathfire is then doubled. So since Singed can constantly be dealing damage in fights because of his poison from Q, he's gaining so much more value out of Deathfire Touch compared to most other champs. This is the exact rune page you want to be running, as it's Deathfire Touch with Nimbus Cloak, Celerity, and Scorch, followed by Triumph and Last Stand for secondaries. Voltaic Cyclo Sword is looking like the most OP lethality item in the game after its 26.9 changes, and a jungler you need to be running it on is Rengar. You'd think that because you can no longer stack the energized attack faster based on the distance you have traveled, that the item would fall off on Rengar, but the compensation changes are proving to be incredibly impactful. The energized damage proc now deals % current health damage, and also gives you 15 lethality for 4 seconds, so your skirmish strength in this one item spike is absolutely godlike. Voltaic gives 10 lethality from stats, and then the 15 when you proc the passive, so that's 25 lethality in total, which is completely bonkers for a one item spike. Lethality as a stat is way stronger earlier in the game when the enemy team lacks armor, so the fact you're getting so much from Voltaic makes it a no-brainer rush item on many assassins right now. So your core build on Rengar will consist of a Voltaic rush into Profane Hydra second to offer up an insane amount of upfront burst. For our second jungle build, this is probably the most interesting one of the patch, as Riot has enabled AP builds to become viable for Xin Zhao. Xin's AP ratios were buffed for this patch, and in turn, it's made going for an AP bruiser setup actually viable for him. So far, what we were seeing from AP Xin is that he performs a lot better in the lower elos than in the higher ranks. AD bruiser Xin still outperforms in Emerald and above, but in ranks Plat and below, that is where this AP variant Xin build is finding the most success. Rush item is going to be Dusk and Dawn, you grab Nashor's Tooth second and Riftmaker third. Some players are going for Shiv Rush on Xin Zhao, and although it doesn't look bad, the setup that involves Nashor's as a core purchase is what's working the best right now. If you go Shiv, then you can't really build Nashor's since you still need Dusk and Dawn and Riftmaker as core items. By going Dusk and Dawn into Nashor's and Riftmaker, you get tanky enough to where you can survive in teamfights, but are still able to output a really good amount of DPS. And to really abuse either of these champions this season, be sure to check out our world record jungle clears for both over on our site. Link in the description below. So the brand new boots that were added to the game for this patch called Gluttonous Greaves are really really good on Katarina. We theorized that the reworked static shiv could also be good for Kat, but it turns out that item just isn't a very good pickup on her, so stay away from Shiv Katarina. Gluttonous Greaves are the boots you want to prioritize on Kat now because of the fact they provide you with Omnivamp. You not only gain a flat 4% Omnivamp, but for every takedown you get another 1% Omnivamp, stacking up to 6 times. And we all know how in solo queue, Katarina just finds a way to end up with a bunch of kills early on through roaming or skirmishes, so getting to those max 6 stacks won't be an issue at all in most games. Now remember, when mid laners complete their quests, they gain upgraded versions of their boots, and the upgraded version of Gluttonous Greaves is called Immortal Path. Immortal Path is going to give you a passive that allows you to deal 5% bonus damage while you're above 50% health, and then when you drop below 50% health, you gain 15% increased healing. So if you're running a Gluttonous Greaves with Hex Tech Gunblade combo, then the healing potential you've got for early to mid game skirmishes will be insane. There are many mid lane champs who are loving the new Deathfire Touch rune, but one in specific we need to feature is Aurelion Sol. Aurelion Sol's rune page has changed completely for this patch. Comet is no longer a viable keystone rune for Aurelion Sol because of the changes that Riot issued to the rune. You now need to be over 750 units away from your opponent in order to gain the max damage from Comet, and while skirmishing with Aurelion Sol, it's just a lot less likely you're always going to benefit from that max damage as opposed to someone like Xerath or Vel'Koz. It really doesn't matter that Comet has fallen off on Sol though, because you just swap over to Deathfire Touch and everything is completely fine. Deathfire works amazing on him because he's a champ who can deal a ton of consistent damage. Deathfire rewards champions who can deal consistent damage the most, since you gain double damage from the rune once you have been burning enemies for over 3 seconds with abilities. Here's what the full rune page is looking like as you go Deathfire Touch with Mana Flow Band, Transcendence, and Scorch, followed by Triumph and Cut Down for secondaries. So it looks like Varus finally has a new build that is giving him some life as an ADC in 26.9. The new static shiv has been performing incredibly well on the champion, winning way more than alternatives like Ghostblade and Blade of the Ruined King. The reason why the new shiv is phenomenal for Varus is because the energized attack will apply his W blight stacks to all of the targets that get hit by the chain lightning. So the practicality behind this is that you could be hitting a tank who's closest to you in a fight, but still get the W stack off on the squishy who's a bit behind him, and then with that W stack on the squishy, it makes bursting them with an empowered Q much easier. The stats from Shiv are perfect for Varus too, as he likes the AP, AD, attack speed, and movement speed that it provides. And then for the rune page, you will be grabbing Lethal Tempo, as more attack speed is great to have so that you can be getting as many Shiv procs as possible in fights. One champion you may not suspect to be one of the best Deathfire Touch users, but who's absolutely excelling with the rune is Smolder. When you break it down, it makes a ton of sense as to why Smolder likes the rune. His Q gives him a consistent damage source for skirmishes, so this enables him to benefit from the 100% increase in burn damage from Deathfire when you have been burning your opponent for at least 3 seconds. Deathfire is also just going to be a lot more reliable than Comet on Smolder, because if you are using your Q for poke in the mid game, then actually having Comet proc consistently isn't that reliable, especially if you're playing into a team who has high mobility. So if you want a damage-oriented rune on Smolder now, then you should definitely swap away from Comet and over to Deathfire Touch. And based on what we're seeing so far, Deathfire Touch is just Smolder's optimal keystone, even outperforming Fleet Footwork. There may be a world where you still want to take Fleet in more difficult matchups, but Deathfire is without question the best rune for Smolder when you're in less volatile lanes. So here's the complete rune page as you're going Deathfire with Nimbus Cloak, Celerity, and Gathering Storm, while Cashback and Jack of all trades are for secondaries. Moving on to some support setups now, there is a mage support who's loving the addition of Deathfire Touch and its Brand. So Brand no longer wants Dark Harvest and no longer wants Comet. Stop taking those runes on Brand and just swap over to Deathfire Touch entirely. Deathfire was basically made for Brand because he's a champion who can be pumping out so much consistent damage in fights. It's so easy for Brand to benefit from the bonus damage amp that Deathfire offers when you are burning enemies for at least 3 seconds. So the full rune page is going to consist of Deathfire with Mana Flow Band, Transcendence, and Scorch, while Presence of Mind and Cut Down are for secondaries. With Voltaic Cyclosword in an extremely powerful state after its mini rework, a support you're going to want to start building it on is Pyke. Pyke with Voltaic is winning a ton right now. Whether it's more optimal to rush the item or grab it second is kinda up in the air. On one hand, access to Umbral Glaive's passive so you can begin controlling vision is really nice to have, but getting that 25 lethality from Voltaic earlier in the game is also super valuable. We'll wait a little longer until more data comes in and then update Pyke's build page on our website with what's definitively optimal. Regardless of the order in which you purchase the items, you want Voltaic and Umbral Glaive as your staple core for this patch. The upfront burst damage that both items provide is incredible. Umbral gives you the true damage proc, and then Voltaic provides the % health damage proc, so catching a target out and bursting them has never been easier. But while lists like these show you what to play, our brand new Season 16 Essentials courses for every role teach you how to win, each designed to walk you through every every stage of the game from start to finish. From the exact trading and recall timers you need to win lane, to the mid-game macro decisions 99% of players get completely wrong, all the way to the team fighting tips and tricks challengers abuse to always deal the highest damage possible. Whether you're a top laner in the most unfavorable matchup possible, a mid laner having to deal with everybody in your lane 24/7, a jungler trying to balance ganking with farming, an ADC stuck trying to hard carry with a support who just exists to grief you, or a support that's struggling to carry games on your own. Our Essentials courses are tailor-made to focus on the exact concepts that actually matter for climbing on your role in your elo. Check them out today, completely risk-free, using the link in the pinned comment or description below. As if you don't climb at least 5 divisions, you get every penny back. So there you have it, everyone. Those are 10 of the most OP new builds that you can look to try for 26.9. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.